Thank you. Am I audible? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Is it a fine day today? Is it good? Is it too hot? Was it too hot? Yeah? Okay. So, I have been asked to speak something on one of the verses of the Bhagavad Gita. So that is what I will do. And then we'll open up the discussion to any discussions or any feedback. Is that okay? Is that all right? Is that what we do here? Yeah? Okay. Ajnanatimiraandhasya jnananjanashadakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Shri Chaitanyam Krishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I would be chanting this verse from the Bhagavad Gita, and if you want, you can pull it up on your smartphone. If you want to do that, this is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The book that I am referring to is Bhagavad Gita as it is. The author is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We are reading from the second chapter, verse number 41. Yes, so those of you who are looking at your phones, smartphones.
Yes. But she's putting it on the Facebook page. So you can go on the Facebook page.
Yes, we're ready to go. Anyone needs some more time?
Posted it on the Facebook page, but it's, if you want to Google it too, it's 2.41.
Okay. We can breathe in, breathe out. That makes it seem very holy, isn't it? When you do this breathing exercises, it's like very spiritual. Whatever helps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we'll read the verse. What we will do is I will chant the verse first. Well, let's do it like this. I would say one word and you can repeat after that. Yeah, and then we can do the whole verse. Is that okay? Yeah?
Okay.
All right. Vyavasayatmika. Vyavasayatmika. Buddhir. Ekeha. Guru. Nandana. Prabhu. Shakha. Hi. Anantash. Cha. Buddhayo. Vyavasayinam. Okay, let me just do the entire verse once so that you get the hang of it. Most of you may be aware of it. If someone is new or you are doing it for the first time. So what I'm going to do now is chant the entire verse. Sanskrit we call a verse shloka. So this is a shloka, S-H-L-O-K-E. Okay, and then we'll go line by line. Yeah, where I say a line and then you repeat after me. Okay. So the meter. First, I'll do the entire verse so you get the meter. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha gurunandana bahushakhayamtascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Okay? It's like so it's like beat of it, like an octave. All right. So line by line, everyone's ready? Yeah. So what kind of shoes, what do you want to put? Jogging shoes, running shoes? Ready with the mind? This verse is about the mind. Mindful, everyone is mindful. Yeah. I had a friend, we were having a talk and we were discussing that how in the present times this word has become so very important. Mindful. And everyone has to practice mindfulness. I said, gosh, already my mind is full of so many things. You want me to do mindfulness? I don't have any more space in my mind. Yeah. So being mindful literally could mean something else. So everyone's ready? We are mindful now? Yeah? Okay. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahushakahyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Feels good. Once more. Let's do it together now. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha gurunandana bahushakhayantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Sounds like sages are in here, right? Yes. Now, if you really want to experience the magic of these verses, as I said, these verses are called as shlokas. If you want to experience the magic, then use your diaphragm. Breathe in. Your stomach has to be tight. Speak from your throat or your diaphragm. All right? Try and do that. These verses have been arranged such that when we are very, very attentive about it, especially when the body is aligned properly and the breathing process is aligned properly, it affects our mind. It pacifies the mind. Okay? So let's do it. On the count of 3, first we take the position. All right? If you want, just relax. You can loosen up. And then, ready? Take a breath. All right. 1, 2, 3. Vyavasaya Pita Buddhi Bahushakha Tascha Buddhayo Vyavasaya. It's resonating. Resonance. Okay. That's the end of my performance. Now I will read. Translation: those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. There is a purport to it. Maybe we'll read until of the purport. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika or intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.62 states, Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kahesh Sudrada Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Katapaya. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he or she need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reaction from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he or she need no longer endeavor for good results in his or her activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities on the absolute plane, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. Further on the purport, the process or a detailed understanding of this first paragraph will be there. There will be some details on what is knowledge, some details on how one can understand knowledge, and finally what is the conclusion of this explanation of this purport. Okay, let us go to the verse properly. We'll go to the Sanskrit again and we'll try to see what it states. So, Vyavasaya, Vyavasa or Vyavasaya refers to intelligence, as we read in the purport. There are various names, there are various words in this Sanskrit language for intelligence. One of that is Vyavasa. All right. So, twice the word Vyavasa has been used. First time that it has been used is in the first line itself. And then again, it has been used in the fourth way. However, in the fourth line, the way this word Vyavasaya has been used is as Avyavasaya. There's an A there. So in the Sanskrit language, just the letter A is pronounced as A. And if you know the use of diacritics, then A with, or the extended A, the two A's, is also is expressed in the Sanskrit language as A. So when we use A in front of any word, then according to Sanskrit grammar, the word now means it expresses just the opposite understanding of what it is without the prefix A. So Vyavasa means intelligence, Avyavasa means that which is your opposite of intelligence. Or since there's technically speaking no opposite of intelligence, so according to the rules of grammar, we understand that Avyavasaya means not the complete benefit of one's intelligence, or improper understanding of what one's intelligence is presenting, is the misconceptions, is Avyavasaya. The word buddhi is also being explained here, or the word buddhi is also has been used here. Buddhi is another Sanskrit word for intelligence. So why two different words have been translated as intelligence here? Vyavas, when we use the word vyavas in Sanskrit, it means resolute intelligence, or fixed intelligence, focused intelligence. And avyavas means weak intelligence, or many branched intelligence, irresolute intelligence. So Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. So one whose intelligence is resolute. Atmika means belonging to one. Atma means the self. So Atmika means that which is one, one's own. So Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. Once whose intelligence is resolute, what happens? Ekeha Purana. Ekeha. One is able to achieve one's goal of purpose. With resolute intelligence, one is able to achieve one's destination. Makes sense. And Avyavasa Buddhi would mean irresolute intelligence. So obviously we understand that the next two lines will be explaining about failure, or how one is not able to achieve one's goal in life. Previous to this verse, the concept of working with intelligence has been introduced. Verse 40, verse 39. So in relationship to work, this is being spoken. Active involvement in one's own life is called as work. How many of us felt that today the day just passed by? Happens, isn't it? Thank you. Happens. The day just passed by. What did I do? It just passed by. So we were very passively involved in our life. What happened today? We were kind of passive about it. And then people say that, yeah, then life happens. But things happen in life. Active involvement in one's own life is called as work in the Vedic philosophy, where one is clear or one has clarity about what one has to do with one's present moment in time. One is very clear about it. It's not about success or failure as yet. Just because one has clarity doesn't mean that one would be successful in life. There are many other factors that play a role in our success or in our failures. However, clarity is very important. So when one has clarity about one's purpose in life, then one feels enlivened. One feels lively, one feels inspired, one finds enthusiasm and determination because there is clarity. And if it's a little foggy, one is not really very clear about what one should do in the present moment, then there could be so many emotions, anxiety, fear, laziness. Sometimes it could really get dark. One could feel envy, jealousy. Because there is no clarity. Why is there no clarity? There is no focus. Why is there no focus? Because one has many things going on. And when one has many things going on, then either one becomes inert or one is confused. Is that correct? Do you agree? Do we want to be having inertia in life based on fogginess or lack of clarity? Maybe not. If one is perfectly clear of what one has to do and that requires inertia on our part, and that is what we do. Like let's say a baseball match. You are there, you have to go and hit. And right before you kind of, the ball comes at you. You be focused. However, at that point of time, everything becomes inert. Your breathing, functions of the body, you have to actively make everything still. So that kind of inertia is helpful. However, inertia where you have no control or confusion where you have no control is not helpful at all. So, Eki Ha, Kurunandana is just Krishna calling his friend Arjuna by another name. It's like, how do I say, in today's times? Krishna is like Stay focused. You are the man, my man. That is Krishna, Kurunanda. Yeah. Or maybe if you consider Krishna to be someone who's very much affectionate towards Arjuna, then Krishna is like focused intelligence boy. Because Krishna is, he feels that he is older than Arjuna. Kurunanda. Yeah. How do we apply it practically in our lives? You see, many a times in our lives, we understand that we have to make choices. And every sane person does that. And in my own existence of so many X years, I've really not found any person to be consistently insane. So that gives me hope, a lot of hope. People have sanity. Off and on, sane people, isn't it? That's how all the traffic there is working properly. Sometimes things go off. So there is sanity in this world, right? However, how is it that in our sanity or in our sane moments, we still find ways of hurting ourselves through confusion? Why does that happen? So in this chapter previously, there have been some tools offered to help us prevent being in such situations of confusion. The first tool, technically, I'll just give you some technical names, is called as Nishkam Karma. Nishkam Karma means activities where you are not overtly attached to enjoying the fruits of your work. Community service. How many of us have experienced doing community service? Please show of hands. I mean, other than posting our selfies on social media, is there anything else that we want to have and enjoy from it? It's community service, right? It's what we give, what we offer willingly, trying to serve. So, same people, they understand the concept of Nishkam Karma. It's very important to see if the understanding of Nishkam Karma would be helpful for all of us in the present times. Karma, or sometimes karma. Recently, somebody sent me something on WhatsApp. My dogma was run over by my karma. I said, oh, nice one. I could take a printout of it and put it on the wall. The wall would enjoy it. Looks good on the wall. So karma, activity, work, nishkam. By willingly giving up the intent to enjoy the results or the fruits of that activity. community service. Sometimes when we are overtly nationalistic, then we do national service. Similar mode, obviously, in today's times, you may get some salary for it. However, still, try to be helpful. Nishkam karma. There is no desire to enjoy the result of that action. So if one wants to begin on a journey in life, every single day we want to have clarity up here. And if we have come from a place, every single day we have been going through a lot of emotional turmoil, right from being in the crib, to being a toddler, to being going to school and college, and then an adult. If we have been through that, and now we come to, we decide like, now this is, I have to change something in my life. And what is that? I want to find some perennial peace. And a peaceful state that lasts longer than just a day or a week. And I don't want to do that by enrolling myself into an ashram where they say, no talking, just be silent and sit in a quiet room. I don't want to do that. So, what tools can I use? So, Nishkanta. With our intelligence, every time we are performing an activity, very consciously we try to dissociate ourselves from the propensity to enjoy the fruits of that action. What happens? When we do that, we are hoping or we are trying not to get entangled further. Action has to be performed. But when we are focused on enjoying the result of that action, then maybe it's inspiring, maybe it helps us to give our best. However, there is further entanglement. That is the nature of the mind. So someone who's, a good Samaritan, walks into our life, gives us something amazing and walks out. We have no idea who that was. Just walks in and walks out. That person is called as a good Samaritan. Aren't the parables full of that? Your typical, you would say, the parabolic John Doe. No idea, faceless, nameless. All we know is a good Samaritan. Who benefited? We. What did the person who is this John Doe, what did the person get? Person just did some activity, some action with all zeal and enthusiasm. However, most probably did not get entangled further. That is called as Iskcon. What happens when we use our intelligence to be involved in activities which are called as Nishkam Karma? The mind is purified. The mind is purified. So somebody, once upon a time, there was a person who had come to our satsang program, program like this Kirtan program. It happens in so many places. Did we know that Kirtan programs happen in so many places, or did we think that we were the only people saved in this world? No. So someone came to a program like that, and they got very inspired. That person got very inspired. Is there a master here? Like a Zen master or a spiritual master, a guru? Is there someone, a guru? So at the front desk, they said, yes, if you want, you can meet XYZ guru. So he goes up to the guru and says, if I enroll into your mission, and if I follow everything that you teach me, how many years would it take me to be perfectly composed and peaceful like you are? So the Guru gave a figure like 10 years. It would take you 10 years. What if I double my effort, put in more effort? How many years would it take me then? The Guru said 20 years. Because when we are focused on getting the results and enjoying it, you get entangled. The mind becomes confused. Yes. So the mind has to be purified. So in the Vedic tradition, the first step offered is Nishkama. Know that you have to give your best. That means you have to understand what is going to be the result of your work. However, it is not for you. It has to be offered to someone else for their benefit. When we hear statements like this, sometimes it scares us because then we wonder, then what do we get? Again, we have to remember that we may not be the only person in the universe who is inspired to do that. Just as we are good Samaritans, somebody could be a good Samaritan in our life. And that is how the world is. The world does not revolve around me or you. Only me or you. Everyone has a role to play. Every living entity. So all right, the mind is purified. Now what? The intelligence has to be used further. For what? Now you have to try and overcome the propensity to wanting to enjoy the desire to work. Some people are very helpful because it gives them an adrenaline rush. And if they don't find something that they can help with, they have sleepless nights. In a Kirtan program like this somewhere else, in an alternate universe, there was a Kirtan program happening. And the young person walks in. And he says, I'm totally confused, I need peace of mind. Everything is like upside down. Please help me. So some tools are offered to that person, and this person is told that after a week, you'll find peace of mind. Don't worry. He said, how do I know? How do I know after a week this will happen? He said, don't worry. This will pass. Practice these tools and this will pass. person goes back, goes home, practices that for a week. After a week comes running, like, I'm cured, I'm so happy, I'm so peaceful. And the Guru there said, yeah, this will also pass. So the second step is to be free from the desire, the pushing, that I need to help others. The world has a funny way of working, this universe. If we have a potential to help, the universe, it has a way to find us. And put us in that situation where we would be providing help. The last time you helped someone, like you found somebody who needed a plate of food, and you offered that person a plate of food. Had you planned on doing that? Did you plan that this is the person and I have like marked this person and I'm going to help this person? No, the universe works in strange ways. So don't worry if we feel that, oh, if I don't have a desire to help, then isn't that bad? Desires confuse the mind. So the second step is called as karma sannyas. There's nishkam karma, and the second step is called as karma sannyas. Sannyas typically means renunciation. Karma sannyas means renouncing the desire to enjoy the propensity of wanting to work. And enjoyment one has to give up. We are never suggesting that one has to give up working. We never suggested that. We are trying to suggest that one must become free from the desire to want to enjoy. Does it mean that we should not enjoy? I never even said that. Enjoyment will come. The universe works in strange ways. Let it work. I mean, I today don't feel like watering my lawn. And the rains come and like, okay, God is on my side. And another day when I have to kind of, really it's my, party night. Gotta show up, That is when the rain God sent a deluge. And I'm like, why, my dear Lord? I've been going to the Kirtan program every week diligently. Why did I have to spoil my day? No, the universe has its own way of working. And the universe typically works for our benefit. We may not understand it, but everything in this universe is working for our benefit. So, karma sannyas. Karma sannyas means trying to give up all plans of how one can prove to be the savior of this world. That is called as karma sannyas. If I were not there, the world is doomed. And somewhere intrinsically we may have that kind of understanding. Internal. So karma sannyas. So first step, the mind is purified. The second step, the intelligence is purified. In karma sannyas. And when one goes through these steps, then one simply realizes that one is an instrument. One has always been an instrument. So does it mean that being an instrument, we do not have free will? Because that would be the next question coming up. What about free will then? We always have the free will to either accept that we are an instrument or not accept that we are an instrument. Always. And if you think that, now since I've accepted that I'm an instrument in the hands of this universe, the creator, whatever, and now I'm saved. The bad news is that may not necessarily be true. However, the good news is we'll always have the opportunity to express our freedom. Basically, this universe or life or existence does not encourage being inactive. Therefore, in Vedic tradition, there is no concept of forever in heaven or forever in hell. In Vedic philosophy, the understanding is forever in service. And if we understand what being in service means, we cannot be out of service. We have to be forever in service. So after purifying the mind through Nishkam Karma, purifying the intelligence through Karma Sannyas, the fog and the cloud dissipates, and we have realization that I am an instrument. So we could go that route, or we could go another route. The other route is where we first of all base or we use the facility to express our faith, that which is sublime. I have faith that I am an instrument. This is a very sublime understanding. Think about it. Because as soon as we understand that we are an instrument, we allow magic to happen through us, miracles to happen through us. We allow that and we experience. So the other process is with faith. I am an instrument. I'm not saying faith is that which is inconceivable. I don't think so that I have a prerogative to do that. But yes, we should have faith in the inconceivable. However, I can have faith that I'm an instrument. Let magic happen. And with that faith, when I start rendering service, there's a realization that actually I'm really an instrument in the hands of this creation and creator, the hands of Krishna. I'm an instrument of the Supreme. So here in this verse, Lord Krishna is explaining about the step-by-step process. And the purport, Srila Prabhupada is also giving us the alternative process if we want to take it out. The alternative process where we say, I'll chant Hare Krishna and I do Kirtan and have realization. Because that's service, where I'm an instrument. Or we could go the other route too. Or we could combine the two if you want. First purify the mind, purify the intelligence. And have the realization that I'm an instrument and a service. So let's stop here. Any corrections? Any reflections? Any questions?
Is Kirtan purifying the mind or
Well, if we are using Kirtan for Nishkam Karma, then it purifies the mind. If we use Kirtan for Karma Sannyas, it purifies the intelligence. If we use Kirtan to render service, then we are expressing our faith.
Kirtan, Prabhu is a holy name, which is beyond.
The holy name which is beyond all concepts. It is true. And so your suggestion is that, therefore, Kirtan is beyond, so therefore, it's transcendent.
It is not.
Mm. At our temple, many years ago, temple in Mumbai, India, where I spent some time. We have a milk booth right across the road. So people can go there, they pay money and take milk bottles. A bottle of milk or maybe more. So one day, one of our guests from the United States of America went up to the milk booth and asked, how much is a milk bottle for? And just had US dollars on it. So he said, the shopkeeper said it's about 10 rupees. In today's time, in those times, it was a little different. In today's times, $1 is equivalent to about 79 or 80 Indian rupees. Like to come on a trip to India? So it was about 10 rupees or 15 rupees. So no Indian currency, nobody else around. Look at us, we are like no bank balance, no credit cards on us. So he took out a dollar note. And he said, for him, it was just $1, right? So he's like, let me tip this person too. So he gave the dollar note to that person. He said, is this okay? And the person said, it looks like some kind of currency. However, it is not the kind of currency that I know. So he's like, no. And the person told him, the US citizen, he told him that it is worth 80 Indian rupees. He's like, no. So finally he settled for 10 Indian rupees. So can you see? Even if we have the opportunity to get a little more, because we are not aware of it, we only access as much as we are aware of. That is Kirtan. If you are not aware of Kirtan, then you only access that which we are aware of. It's not that Kirtan is lacking, it's just that it is all that we can draw from Kirtan. Is that okay? Any other reflection or question? Yes, please.
So if so whenever I notice like I'm doing fruitive activities, I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to get done so I can enjoy the fruits of this activity. What should I do in that moment to like transform that activity so it's not a fruitive activity?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for asking that question. There are two ways that we can approach this. One is, we could, if we are really wanting to do that in our life, then we could just read up on it and try to have our own conclusions. Or we approach someone who is well read and have discussions with them and try to figure out, have a roadmap for ourselves. So when we do it by ourselves, on our own, through our own readings and through our own conclusions, then we have to equip ourselves and our intelligence to be able to get the essence from our readings. People can do that. If we are equipped, well equipped, then we can have our own conclusions, good conclusions from our own readings. Or we can ask a living person, someone who's very good, a teacher or a guide, somebody who sells customer service, that has a board, sometimes other words are used for customer service. Guru. Guru, it basically is an institution that offers customer services or helpline. Is that okay? Okay. Anything else? It's 8:35, so. All right, we'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
His Grace Rohinipriya Prabhu ki jai.